Oh, I'm live on both the channels now. Hey all, I'm Sajid. I guess you know who I am. So a few weeks ago, I did a Facebook Live where I shared why we should all focus on our weaknesses. I'm sorry, I'm messing it up. A few weeks ago, I did a Facebook Live where I shared why we should not focus on our weaknesses and should focus on our strengths, right, and improve on that. Then I received this message from this amazing, wonderful person, and she wrote to me in details that what, and she was asking for advice. Hey, I saw that video. It's really helpful. However, my annual review, and I'm looking over here on this side because that's where my other monitor is and I could read her questions. But in short, what she said is like, I understand you want us to focus, or you suggest us to focus on our strengths, but my performance review is coming up, and unfortunately employers wants us to focus on our weaknesses. So what do I do, and how would I start that conversation? First and foremost, it depends. I really do not have I don't have an exact answer. And here is why, right? Number one is, organization to organization and the culture of the organization, manager to manager, things are going to be different, right? So I can give you answer that's very broad and vague, but I will try to help you with an example if I can. So one of the example is like, say when we went to school, like, or when I went to college, university, right? They had asked us to, and I was studying computer science. I was both from a bachelor's, let's talk about my bachelor's degree, like I was doing computer science. And my university required me to do like understanding music. I had a history class, I had an English writing class, and chemistry class, math, statistics, all sorts of classes, right? And I'm studying, my major is computer science, and all I want to do is program, code, software, system architecture, things like that. So every time that class would come up, I would be like, why do I have to do that, right? And I'm not very good at that either. I wasn't, right? I'm not trying to make it up, or I'm gonna say, oh, I was good at it and I aced it. No, I sucked, right? So, and I used to hate it with everything else. But what I realized was, and what I would use that as an example is like, I didn't have to study to become the top student of my class in history, chemistry, mathematics, statistics, literature, English writing, things like that. I sucked, and while I was good at computer programming, at the time, and I was very young, right? So I wouldn't really understand. And looking back, I realized what a fool I was. I should have taken that opportunity to actually polish my skills in other areas. But anyway, so where I'm going with this is like, at a minimum, you need to, if your weaknesses in some areas are below average, then maybe you should focus on that a little bit and bring it to average. Right? We all have our, let's just take a cricket team or a soccer team, right? In a soccer team, there are people who play forward and people who are goalkeepers and people who are in the rear in the defense or something like that. I'm not very good in soccer, but I'm just using that as an example. What I'm saying is like, while the players in the forward or in a cricket team, the players who are batsmen, they still know how to bowl. Right, there's in cricket, and again I'm switching from soccer to cricket, but in cricket, people who are batsmen and people who are bowlers. So just because you're a batsman doesn't mean you do not know how to bowl, and just because you're a bowler doesn't know how you can bat. Right now, a batsman would never want to become a bowler. A bowler should never try to become a batsman unless they're like totally gifted. So my thing is like, have a discussion with your manager and explain to them, understand what is it they're asking you to be. If they're asking you to become a batsman and a bowler, then have a different set of conversation. And obviously, you work for that employer, so you cannot really go against the grain and like piss them off. But you could tell them, hey, this is my zone of genius. I do get that. I understand. Why would you want me to? Is there a reason why you want me to focus on this? What can I do? How can we just have a discussion? Try to understand where your manager is coming from and why your manager wants that. Right? And I think that would really serve you well rather than going against the grain and being combative or being like disruptive and saying no and stomping your feet and things like that, which I don't think anyone would do in a professional environment. But try to understand, because maybe sometimes you need to get get to an average level. If you're below average level, but if they're asking you to become from average to a world-class batsman, if I was becoming world-class in chemistry and English literature and science, and I was like, that doesn't serve me well, right? I just need enough to pass university and be able to do work around in business world. So I hope this helps. If it doesn't, let me know, send me messages. And I'm so sorry, it took me a while coming online and sharing, even though it takes a few minutes. I definitely agree. It's just it does take some coordination, just because I have to take things out of my day. I am trying to get better. We'll see how that goes in 2020, the rest of 2020. But for now, figure out, if they're asking you to get better in a certain area, is it because you're below average or above average? And then number thing is that a business priority? Sometimes we all have to suck it up and focus on areas which is outside our zone of genius, because it's going to help move the needle and make the business achieve its goal. It's just one of those things, right? It's just something we have to do. We may not like it, we may not enjoy it, it may not be in our area of competency, but we just have to do it, and until we find a different job where all we have to do is one thing. But again, if we're just doing one thing and one thing only, it gets repetitive and we get bored, right? So I hope this helps you. If not, let me know. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.